Okay, everyone, we have a little bit of time left over, so let's utilize this time and just because we didn't give a speech, I didn't give a class today in the Sichot here. Let's first of all give charity. Let's not forget about giving. God gives us so much, we have to give something back. There we go. Charity, here we go. Good. Now, charity saves from death. Charity brings the redemption. Let's go. In dem inyan was men geredet, what we talked about that in simple Torah, tanzt als Eden, all the Jews dance. This is a speech which was given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1966. Here we go. And all of the Jews danced together with the Torah. Oh, what am I doing? What did I do that for? 1 second. 1 minute. 1 minute. There you go. In the topic of what we said about Simchat Torah, that all the Jews dance together with the Torah, and they don't learn the Torah. On Simchat Torah, the joy of the Torah, surprisingly, we take the Torah and we don't learn it. The main thing of the Torah is understanding. That's what makes us happy, when we understand an idea on the Torah and we know it's God's Torah. When we understood a godly idea, it says, no, on the day it's called the happiness of the Torah. What's the happiness of the Torah? We use our feet, we dance. We dance with the Torah. All the Jews dance together in a unity. Is front and them nakudas. There's a point. Tanzen, tanzt man mitten Kopf. I'm sorry. Tanzen nit mitten Kopf. When you dance, you don't dance with your head. Huh? You ever notice that? When a person dances, he dances with his feet. Rare is the people that I saw the one person that was they had this break dancing where a guy spins around on his head, but you don't see that every day. I mean, that's a very weird thing. But dancing with your feet, everybody does that. Oib men volt getanzen mitten Kopf. If you wanted to dance with your head, this means because of understanding. What do you mean dancing with your head? It doesn't mean standing on your head. It means dancing with your intellect. As demelt vet gewen, then there would be happiness, but limited. What do you mean happy? Only smart people and only how much you understand. Wie viel versteht, how much you understand the reason for dancing, right? You're dancing with the Torah. Why? Because the Torah is wisdom. The Torah is understanding. Who understands that? Who understands it? Even to say why the Torah is God. God gave the Torah. Somebody understands that. Somebody understands what God is, right? Let's take a lower level of God. God creates us. Is there anybody in the whole world that can possibly understand what that means? What does that mean? God creates me. Right now, I'm being created by God. Makes no sense. I'm being created by God. Okay, maybe you can say, listen, maybe somehow I'm here. Maybe there's some sort of a power that's created. Maybe. But to say for sure it is God, and that God is the one that took the Jews out of Egypt, and he creates the world, he creates it. You don't understand. That's a lower level of God. To feel the godliness of the Torah, you can't really understand that. So if you were going to be happy only because of your understanding, it would be a very limited type of understanding. Only the big Kabbalists and the big tzaddikim, they would be able maybe to have a small idea of what God is, right? But when you dance with the Torah, above understanding, melvil doch aber, in Simchat Torah, zol sein beli gevul, you want it to be unlimited. What does it mean unlimited? It has to be happiness with something you don't understand. Now, a person, you can ask a question, how can I be happy with something I don't understand? that doesn't make any sense, right? It's like saying they'd be happy with a gloom. What's a gloom? Just be happy. Don't ask any questions. That's ridiculous, right? But on the other hand, everybody knows and feels that they're alive. And nobody understands what being alive is, but nevertheless, everybody's happy, right? If grandpa was sick and he becomes alive, you're happy. He's got life. What are you happy with? He's got life. Nobody knows what life is, but life makes you happy. Life is a good thing. It makes you happy, right? Pleasure makes a person happy. Nobody understands what pleasure is. Those things are above understanding. The Torah, we're saying, comes from the source of life. It comes from the source of pleasure. For sure, you don't understand it. But on the other hand, it's really, because it's so good. It's too good. You can't understand it. That's the happiness of the Torah. Happiness that God creates the world. It's one type of happiness. Happiness that God gives the Torah is not only it's not understandable, it's not even in the category of understanding, but nevertheless, it's relevant to each and every one of us. It's like receiving a huge treasure. Therefore, dancement with the feet. Therefore, you dance with your feet, because your feet aren't relevant to understanding. Your feet react to something you don't understand. Weiß nit, he doesn't understand what der Eibishter is, he doesn't know what God is, weiß nit, and he doesn't understand what the Torah is. Right? You ever see professors dancing because they got a new idea? Oh, the guy who got a new idea in physics, right? His idea that whatever is the uncertainty principle, he's happy because of the uncertainty principle. That's right. He's dancing. You see, he's dancing so happy. Your intellect might make you happy when you understand it, but it doesn't make you dance. Dancing is from something that's above understanding. Erves Nor, he only understands that God, with his Torah, is dearer. It's a precious thing. Was es is nita azor davar, that there's not such a dear and precious thing in the whole entire world, the Torah. We see Jews were willing to give their lives for the Torah. Jews, when they were evicted from all these different countries, they always managed to take a Sefer Torah with them. Sometimes they even took Talmud with them. The Talmud was with them. I mean, that must have been, 100 people must have carried a different page or something, different book. Welche und das, a Welt in the whole world. Und das ruft bei ihm, when a person feels that the Torah really comes from the essence, the meaning of life, the essence of the Creator, and it's right here in the world. That's what it says in the Torah, right? There's the story in the Torah, the story. And pretty much everybody that reads the Torah agrees with this. Nobody, as far as I know, but nobody said it's a lie, that the Jews were in Egypt and they suffered in Egypt and God took them out of Egypt and he gave them the Torah. And so the Torah is here, and the same Torah we've been reading nonstop for 3,000 years. It's the same exact Torah. So when a person feels that the Torah that we're reading is coming from God, the source of life, so just that fact, even if you don't understand anything, and this is a happiness without any limit. This is also the idea of the joy of the Torah, and setzt man sich nicht learning. You don't sit and learn. This means, as the simcha, the joy, zol zayin, should be mitzad inyan shebet Torah, because of some idea in the Torah or some sort of a concept of the Torah. No, nor men tanzt mit the Sefer Torah. You take the Torah and you dance with it. Whether you're the greatest, biggest genius in the world in Torah, or whether you're the most simple Jew that doesn't even do any commandments, you just know that there's the Torah. You're a Jew. Vizi is in eingewinkelt, how we dance with the Torah, how it is wrapped up in a mental, in a what is it, like a covering. They put a nice cover on the Torah. What is it? Like a little what is a coat, a little thing that they put on the Torah. You ever see it on the Torah? By the Sephardim, it's even more. They have a whole beautiful box that they put it in. It's ornamented. As man vase nor all we don't you don't even look and see what's written in the Torah. All you know is was steht, men weiß nor nit, noch nit, you don't even know what is written in the Torah. How can you dance with the Torah? Listen, you don't even know Hebrew. Men weiß, but all you know, as is a Torah, it's a precious thing. It's not a book that was written by Moses. It was not a book that was written by the rabbis. It's not the directory, whatever, of Judaism, a book of Jewish customs and rituals. No. That the Torah is a book that was given by God himself, every single word. A person could say, I don't believe that. It's simply not the truth. It's okay, you can. But the only way you can really appreciate it is by believing. You can't understand it. You can't understand what God is. It's too good. It's too precious. But here it is. Here's the Torah. And that's why Jews have given their lives for the Torah, because of the happiness of the Torah. You don't even, you dance with the Torah and you don't even know what's written inside of it. All you know, it's a precious thing. And therefore, is man mit-ir, therefore you're happy with the Torah, you're dancing without any limit. Nothing in the world can possibly compare to the Torah. That's why really there were Jews that died, like they went into the burning synagogue to take out the Torah. Why? Because there's nothing in life that's as precious as the Torah. There is nothing in life that can even compare in any way to the wisdom of the Creator. Here it is in a book, right? That doesn't make any sense. And that's why we dance, because it doesn't make any sense. It's the same thing why people went up 3 times a year to the Holy Temple and they were happy, more than the simple. They came away happy. Why did they came away happy? Because suddenly they understood that there's something, and that God loves us, and God is so precious, he can't be understood. There's no logical reason why God loves us, why he cares, but he loves us beyond and above any logic, no matter what we do. And that's why we have the Torah. That's the preciousness of the Torah. A zoivi, like it is in every Jew individually, is the Seder. It's the way that we tansed, that each person dances with the Torah. So we get the next up page. Where we go. With your feet, with the Torah, by means of this, tanst oich, by means of this, your feet make your head move as well. Huh? Your feet, when you move with your feet, your head also moves. Azoy oich, it's also the same thing as all of the Jewish people. The Jewish people are one big body. When Moses went into Pharaoh the first time, as God said to Moses, go inside and tell Pharaoh, my son, my chosen ones, Israel. Israel, the Jewish people, they are the son of God. So the Jewish people are like one huge person. As the simple, just like when one individual person dances with his feet, as the head also moves and dances, so it is with all of the Jewish people together. As the simple, the joy from simple people, which they which they rejoice with the Torah, was their simcha, which their joy without any limit. Thus, this brings an additional joy also in the big geniuses of the Torah, the big rabbis, was Vesen, which they know, verstehen, and they understand the greatness of the Torah. When the Siba and the reason for the joy. The great people, they understand. The simple people don't understand. They have real joy. You should know that in Russia, in communist Russia, it used to be that all of the Jews used to go to the synagogue on Simchas Torah. All the Jews. They used to go to the Simchas Torah. It was dangerous. It was dangerous. They had 1/3 of the crowd was spies, KGB agents. And they had cameras everywhere, and everybody. Anyone who went was a danger, and people didn't care. When did they go? Not for Yom Kippur. For Yom Kippur, also people go. Maybe in America, people go to the synagogue for Yom Kippur. Right? But in Russia, where Jews were oppressed constantly without any end, constantly Jews were oppressed. As Jews, when did they used to go? Simchas Torah. Because Simchat Torah, they felt that now these Jews that went, most of them, they didn't even know how to read Hebrew. All they know is that they're Jews and that the Torah and Jews are holy and that the Torah is pure. And how do you know Jews are holy? Because it says it in the Torah. That's the source. That's their, how do you say, their passport, their identity card. As oich by also by the simplest Jews, when they dance, that it causes happiness also by the great geniuses that learn the Torah. This makes a joy simply without any limit. Und durch dem Simcha, by means of the joy of Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, so we come to a level of parachot. It says that every day the Jews would bring in addition, they start off with 7 oxen, and they would finally end it up. I mean, they would start off, with 13 oxen, and they would end up with 7 oxen. But then they would finish. But altogether would be 70. 70. There were seven days of the holiday, and the first day they would bring 13, and then 12, and then it come out to equal out. It would be like 10 every day. Then on the 8th day, which was Shmini Atzeret, they would bring 1 cow. 1 cow. That was the offering in the Holy Temple. Why? Not like on Sukkot when they sacrificed 70 cows, 70 oxes, it says. On Kegen, corresponding to the 70 nations, Valdan, because then, haben sie euch an Ort, because in the holiday of Sukkot, the non-Jews also had a place. They also had a place. They're also creations of God. God loves them, right? But not like the Jews. And Shmini Atzeres, nor menkum tzu in a zoi bechina, on the Shmini Atzeres, the 8th day of Sukkot, the day of Simchat Torah, there's 1 cow. It's just God and the Jews alone. Vuzes haben gor kein or nit. The nations have no place. There's no logic. It's above all limitations. Dort gefindt sich, this is an unlimited, unconditional love that God has for the Jews. And yes, he destroyed the temple and God gave us terrible things. We've been expelled, but the Jews are still here. Despite our enemies, like it says, 70 wolves are surrounding 1 sheep. It's impossible that sheep could live for more than an hour or 2. And here we've been living for 2,000 years and there's more than 70 sheep. and more than 70 wolves, I'm sorry, more than 70 wolves. And a lot of those wolves come from the Jewish people themselves. Es darten gefindt sich mehr nit wie der Eibishter on the day of Shmini Atzeres. There's only God and the Jews alone. All of the other days of Sukkot, there's blessings to all mankind. But this last day is special. Only you and me together. That's the idea of the Torah. The Torah is only for the Jewish people. The 7 Noahide commandments, that's like a branch of the Torah, what Jewish people are supposed to teach the non-Jews. But the Torah and the Jews and God are totally one. And the holiday of Simchat Torah, we feel it. It's above understanding. And therefore, everybody dances with the Torah. How the Torah is even covered with above understanding. Have a good day with Moshiach now. Have a happy holiday with Moshiach now. And God willing, the next class will be on Wednesday. For you people outside of Israel, you can also see it Wednesday, 8 o'clock in the morning. God bless you all. Shalom uvracha.